Hello everyone, we are going to see how to use the host command to do the DNS lookup. In previous video we have seen what is DNS lookup and what are the different servers and what is the actual flow in case of DNS lookup. So in this video we will understand how the host command works to just convert our domain name into our IP address. Go to terminal and simply type host, enter, and you will be seeing the different options that you can use with the host command. Let's say I want to convert my domain, which is nothing but facebook.com, and I want to get the IP address for the given domain. So in that case you just type host and the domain name, and you will be getting the IP addresses both from IPv6 and IPv4. First one will be the IPv4. You can do the reverse engineering as well. For example, you have the IP address and you want to get the domain name. So in that case you will be just typing the host and you will be typing the IP address. Here you can see the domain name. So you don't need to consider all the domain name. You need to consider the last two words, which is nothing but your facebook.com, because this is the type of pointer address. We will see what is pointer type of address. So now we have these things. So let's say we want to see the name servers. We have understood name servers are nothing but which actually gives the IP address for your domain, right? We will be going to the resolver, and the resolver will just navigate to the root server and DLD servers. It so goes on, right, as per our intuition. So we want to see the name servers for the given domain. So in that case you will be using host-t, which is nothing but which represents the type you are going to give, and NS stands for name server. Here you can see these are the different name servers that you are getting the IP addresses for the given domain. If you don't remember what is, let's say, the name servers, you can see from this diagram. So it will be at the last level, name servers. Now let's say the CNAME. So generally CNAME type of address are nothing but the alias to the given domain. Sometimes you will type some domain name, so it will have the alias name as well. For example, here you can see, so mydomain.com, for example, you can take this is the actual address and having some IP address. But however, you can have the aliases name. For example, www.mydomain.com, or it can be FTP server, or it can be mail server as well. But in all the cases, we have only the alias name, but the actual domain will be your mydomain.com. The same way, what are the aliases name you have for your domain, that you can see by using the type as CNAME. Here you can see these are the alias name. So you can type even facebook.com. And after that, text. So in order to see the description about your domain, you can use the type as text. So this is the description. In case if any other, let's say the Google or any other person want to know about the description about your, let's say, domain, that time you will be having this description. Generally this description will be used by the SPF. So in short, you can understand SPF is nothing but Sender Policy Framework. It's a DNS record that identifies specific mail servers that are allowed to send mail on behalf of your domain. So it may be more theoretical, but however you want to get the description about your domain in text format, you will be using the type of text. Let's say start of authority. So who is the start of authority for the given domain, that you can use this one. SOA type of address, you can see this is the, let's say, the SOA record. So name server, DNS, and other details. But generally we will not be using this kind of type of records, because in general most of the times we will be just giving our domain name and we will be getting the DNS server name or the name server. And there are other types of addresses as well, such as like your host address, which is nothing but normal address that we will see, and after that AAA, so WAWA, which will stand for IPv6 host address, or you can get the alias address, CNAME address, mail exchange address. For example, if you want to use the same domain name and which is the mail server that being used, for example, if anybody has the let's say some abc at facebook.com, so what is the mail server for that? So for that you will be using the MX. So this is the mail server for this. And for other things we have this URL, so this will have more theoretical, but however we have seen enough theoretical, but it's better to know whenever the requirement comes, you can just come to this site, simple DNS plus. So here you will have all the type of addresses, even which is apart from our the addresses or whatever we have seen so far. For example, A and WAWA, alias, CNAME, and what else we have seen. So NS, name server, and so on, right? So pointer we have seen sometime, right? For example, if you want to see what is the pointer type of records, it is primarily used for the reverse records to map IP addresses to the domain names. In simple, you can have whenever you want to see the type of addresses which you are coming with DNS, so that you can see it here. The same way you will have who is, let's say facebook.com, or let's say you just give the domain name for the IP address, you will be seeing entire details. However, this is just like a bonus point, so we are going to use the host command just to resolve our domain name into the IP address. But let's say if you want to see the entire details, then you can use the command called whois. So this will be having your IP address, and you can see every details about your IP address. For example, what is the CIDR notation, and what is the organization name that you are using for the given domain. So for example, we use the facebook.com, the organization is facebook.inc. And what is the address? If they have provided the address, you can get the address as well. For example, address, city, California state, postal code, and so on. So this is something extra, but even it has some rules and regulations that you can refer into the same output. So arin.net resources. So this is all about the DNS lookup command, which is nothing but our host command. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.